Cleveland Indians baseball. 2-1 Cleveland Indians take on the 0-3 Boston Red Sox. This Sunday afternoon game, Cleveland is going for the sweep of their three-game series against Boston. For the Indians, Alan Foster makes his American League debut on the mound. And Gary Peters will pitch for the Red Sox. All right, welcome from Cleveland Stadium. Today's game is the Boston Red Sox against the Cleveland Indians. It is Sunday, April 11th, 1971. This will be finishing up the first week of the 1971 season. Cleveland has a record of 2-1. They beat Boston on Thursday afternoon and yesterday afternoon. And Boston has a record of 0-3. Gary Peters is starting for Boston. This will be his first start of the year. And Alan Foster makes his Cleveland Indians debut today on the mound. It's a chilly day at the stadium. It's 62 degrees. But it's sunny and there's no wind to speak of. So it may be a reasonably pleasant day at the ballpark if you're sitting in the sun.
Play ball.
The Boston Red Sox starting lineup will be leading off the shortstop Louis Aparicio. Batting second, the right fielder Reggie Smith. Batting third, the left fielder Carl Yastrzemski. Batting fourth, the third baseman Rico Petrocelli. Batting fifth, the first baseman George Scott. Batting sixth, the catcher Dwayne Josephson. Batting seventh, the center fielder Billy Canigliaro. Batting eighth, the second baseman Doug Griffin. Batting ninth, the pitcher Gary Peters. On defense, Cleveland has Ken Harrelson at first base, Eddie Leone at second, Larry Brown at shortstop, Greg Nettles at third, Chuck Hinton in left. He's making his first appearance of the season. Buddy Bradford in center, and Veda Pinson in right field. Ray Fosse is catching, and on the mound is Alan Foster. Alan Foster's a fastball pitcher.
Play ball.
He came over from the Dodgers, along with Ray Lamb in the trade for Duke Sims. 1969, he had a pretty good rookie season. He was 10-10 with an ERA of 3.53. He did not appear in the World Series that year. Let me see if he appeared in the... He made one short appearance in the League Championship Series. So he was with the World Series winner, even though he didn't appear in the series. Last year, he took a regular spot in the rotation, making 28 starts. And he had an 8-13 record with a 4.90 ERA. He backslid a little bit. And with Bill Singer expected to come back for a full season after battling hepatitis early in the season and then a broken finger later in the season, Foster was made expendable. Leading off for Boston in the first inning will be Louis Aparicio. He's hitting 167, no home runs. He has one run batted in. One pitch.
Dead
Ooh,
ball.
he got hit right in the midsection. Ouch. Alan Foster, when he got his first look at the field of Cleveland Stadium, compared it to a Pony League stadium because the dimensions are so small. Here is Reggie Smith, starting off the season at 182, 2 for 11, with no home runs and 2 runs batted in. Down and in, ball 1. Caught the black on the inside. Strike 1, fastball. Swing and a miss, strike 2. It's a liner down the first base line, but that is foul. 1-2 pitch. Smith hits pop up. Second base. Leone is there, and he's got it. 1 out. Here is Carl Yastrzemski sitting 111. No home runs, 1 run batted in. He's 1 for 9 in this very young season. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Ball 1. Fossey to make a nice grab on that one. Yes, it's grounder to short. Larry Brown is only plays at first. Throw to first. Just in time. He's out. Aparicio takes second. Looked like Yaz might have beat that one out, but he called him out. Here is Rico Petrocelli. He's also hitting 111. No home runs, 2 runs batted in. That's right down the middle for strike 1. That's a curve, ball 1. Inside, ball 2. Pops it up, third base side. Nettles is after it, foul ground, but it makes the seats. Too high, ball 3, full count, 2 outs. Up and away, ball 4. Here's George Scott, the boomer. He's hitting 125, no home runs, 1 run batted in. He is 1 for 8. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Just outside, ball 1. Right across the knees, that's strike 1. Foster's starting out with a lot of fastballs today. Foul tip. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Caught the corner, strike 3 call. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the first, no score. Here's how the Indians will be lining up today. Leading off is the shortstop, Larry Brown. Batting second to third baseman, Greg Nettles. Batting third, the right fielder, Vada Pinson. Batting fourth, the catcher, Ray Fossey. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Ken Harrelson. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Chuck Hinton. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Eddie Leone. Batting eighth, the center fielder, Buddy Bradford. Batting ninth, the pitcher, Alan Foster. On defense, the Red Sox have George Scott at first, Doug Griffin at second, Luis Aparicio at short, Rico Petrocelli at third, Carl Yastrzemski in left, Billy Canigliaro in center, Reggie Smith in right, Dwayne Josephson catching, and on the mound is Gary Peters. This is Gary Peters' second season with the Red Sox. He spent most of his career coming up in 1963 for the White Sox, pitched for them until 1969. He was a 20-game winner in 1967. Last year with Boston, he went 15 and 10 with a 3.67 ERA. He's a fastball pitcher, but not as fast as guys like Alan Foster. Leading off for Cleveland will be Larry Brown. He's hitting 182, no home runs, and no runs batted in. He's 2 for 11. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's a fly ball in right field. Reggie Smith is there. He's got it. 1 out. Here is Greg Nettles, who's hitting .538, 2 home runs and 4 runs batted in. He's 7 for 13. He has 2 doubles and 2 home runs. He scored 5 runs in the first 3 games. 3-1 pitch.
Ball 4.
Outside,
Check your
ball
base.
4. And here's Veda Pinson, who is batting .200. No home runs, 1 run batted in. Swinging him, strike 1 on the curveball. And the pitch, curveball. Nettles going for second. Josephson with the throw. He's out. Caught stealing. That was also strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes. And that's 2 outs. Ball 1. It's a little grounder to third. Petrocelli's up with it. And he's not going to make a throw. It's an infield single for Pinson. Here is Ray Fosse, who's hitting .417. No home runs and 3 runs batted in. He is 5 for 12. There goes Pinson. Called strike, the throw to second. Pinson's safe. That's his first stolen base of the season. In the dirt and outside, ball 1. It's Basin into right field. Smith is up with it. Pinson rounds third. He's heading for home. And he scores the first run of the game. It's Cleveland 1, Boston 0. Here is Ken Harrelson. The Hawk is hitting .333, 2 home runs, 7 runs batted in. We were talking to the Hawk before the game, and he laid out his goals for the season quite clearly. He wants to hit at least .280, hit 40 home runs, and drive in 120 runs. So he's got his sights set pretty big for this season. It's a grounder to third. Petrocelli's up with it. The throw to second. And Fosse's out. That's 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. We've played 1 inning in Cleveland. It is the Indians 1, the Red Sox 0. For Boston in the second, it will be Josephson, Canigliaro, and Griffin. Dwayne Josephson hitting .154. No home runs, 1 run batted in. He is 2 for 13 on the season. Let me check something here real quick. He has caught 2 runners stealing. There have been 5 attempts with him behind the plate. He's thrown out 2 of them. The 2-2 pitch. It's a high fly ball into center field. Bradford drifts back, and he's got it. 1 out. Here is Billy Canigliaro. He's hitting .364. No home runs, 3 runs batted in. He was a prime candidate to be Rookie of the Year last year until he got hurt. The 2-0 pitch. Popped it up on the infield. Nettles takes charge, And he's got it. 2 outs. And here's Doug Griffin, rookie who was newly acquired from California in the trade that saw Tony Conigliaro go to California. He's batting .200, no home runs, and 1 run batted in. The 2-2 pitch. It's base hit in the right field. Pinson's up with it, throws it back in. Here is Gary Peters. He's making his first appearance at the plate. Gary Peters swings a pretty good bat for being a pitcher. He's a lifetime 195 hitter. He had 243 at 67, 209 at 69, and 212 last year. He has 18 career home runs. Too shabby. Here's a curveball. Swinging him. Strike 1. Caught the outside half of the plate. Strike 2. No balls. 2 strikes. 2 outs. Hits it on the ground short. Brown up with it. His only plays the first. And Peters is retired. No runs. 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. Bottom of the second coming up. It is Cleveland 1, Boston nothing. For Cleveland in the second, it will be Chuck Hinton, Eddie Leone, and Buddy Bradford. Chuck Hinton is making his first appearance at the plate this season. He started out his career with Washington, the new Washington State. He was part of the expansion Senators in 1961. Played with them through 64, came over to Cleveland in 65. Spent 2 years as a regular, 1967 and 68, and a utility and role player the rest of the time. He had 311 last season. He had a good season last year. He spent time backing up the catcher, backing up first base, playing a little bit of infield, and moving around the outfield when the Indians were hit by the injury bug. The 0-1 pitch. It's fly ball in left field and foul ground. Yes, has it. And he's got it. 1 out. Here's Eddie Leone. He's hitting .222. So far, no home runs and 1 run batted in. He's 2 for 9. 1-1 pitch. Fly ball in left field. Conigliaro going back. Yaz coming over. And Conigliaro makes the play on the warning track. 2 outs. Here's Buddy Bradford, who's hitting .125. No home runs, 1 run batted in. He's 1 for 8. Got his first hit of the season yesterday. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Nothing across for Cleveland in the second. We played 2. It is Cleveland 1, Boston nothing. For Boston in third, it will be Louis Aparicio, Reggie Smith, and Carl Yastrzemski. Aparicio was hit by a pitch in the first inning. 1-0 pitch. It's base hit up the middle. Bradford throws it back in, and Aparicio's on first. That's the second hit of the game for Boston. Here's Reggie Smith. He's 0 for 1. He popped the second in the first. Swing and a miss on the curveball. Strike 1. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Strike 2. The 0-2 pitch. That's a ball. Ball 1. Smith wasn't biting.
Strike three.
Swing and a miss. He tipped it and Fossey held on. Strike three. Struck out on the fastball. That's strikeout number 2 for Foster. Here's Carl Yastrzemski, as is 0 for 1. He grounded to the shortstop in the first inning, advancing Aparicio. Breaking ball. He fouls it back. Strike 1. High and away, ball 1. Too high, ball 2. He tipped it. Foul ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out. Too high, ball 3. Full count. And hard on the ground to Leone. To second for 1. To first. Double play. 4-6-3 double play. And that'll end the inning for Boston. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, no one left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Cleveland 1, Boston nothing. Cleveland in the 3rd, it will be Alan Foster, Larry Brown, and Greg Nettles. One pitch. Foster hits a liner down the first base line. It's foul. Hits a grounder right back to the mound. And it just scoots under Peters' glove. Peters can't come up with it. And they're giving him an error. Foster's on first. No one out. And here's Larry Brown and so forth. He flied to center last time up. Low and outside. Ball 1, the curveball. Line down the 3rd base line, but that's foul. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Low and away, ball 2. Fouls it back. After Boston leaves, it'll be the Orioles coming to town. 3 night games. Orioles are one of 3 undefeated teams so far this year. Then next weekend will be the Washington Senators coming in to visit Cleveland. And then Cleveland goes on a 2-week road trip. They will go to, I believe, Boston, Milwaukee, or Boston, Kansas City, and then finish up in Oakland and California. It's blinder to center field. That's a base hit. Foster will hold at second. Yes, they'll go to Boston for 3, Kansas City for 3, Anaheim for 4, and Oakland for 4. 4 coming back to Cleveland. Here is Greg Nettles. He walked his last time up. Runners on first and second, no one out. That's a wild pitch. All the way to the backstop. Runners advance. Foster takes third. Brown takes second. 1-0 pitch. Nettles hits fly ball to center. Canigliaro near the track. He's got it. They should score Foster. Foster tags, and he scores the second run of the game. Cleveland 2, Boston 0. Here's Veda Pinson. He's 1 for 1. He had an infield single last time up. Right below the belt, called strike 1. He looked at strike 2. Curveball. Pinson his fly ball to center. Canigliaro coming in. He's there and he makes the catch. 2 outs. Here is Ray Fosse, who is 1-for-1. He singled in the first. That scored Veda Pinson. Luis Aparicio was talking about Ray Fosse. Said, I think this kid is going to be the game's next superstar. He's out there every day and he loves to play the game, and he is in the game every second. And when told that, Fosse appreciated it because he thinks that Luis Aparicio is the same kind of player. And he felt that that was some pretty high praise coming from little Louis. He swung at a bad pitch there. Strike one. Low. Ball one. It's a liner down the right field line. That is foul. As I've said 100 times on these telecasts already, when I was a young kid, Ray Fosse was my favorite player on the Indians. It's a fly ball, center field. Canigliaro going back. Good track, and he's got it. 3 outs, but Cleveland gets 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error. They left 1. We played 3. It is Cleveland 2, Boston nothing. Let's take a look around the league now. There are still 3 undefeated teams left in the majors. The New York Mets enter today at 3-0. San Francisco Giants enter today at 4-0. And the Baltimore Orioles enter the game at 3-0. There are also 2 teams that are looking for their first win today. Milwaukee is 0-3 and Boston is 0-3. But let's see what we got going on today. In Washington, in the bottom of the 3rd, the Yankees lead the Senators 3-2. That is Steve Kline against Dick Bosman. In Baltimore, Tigers and Orioles are tied 1-1. Dick McAuliffe hit his first home run of the year for Detroit. That is Dean Chance against Pat Dobson. Top of the 1st in St. Louis. Giants and Cardinals are scoreless. That is Robertson against Gibson. Top of the 4th in Atlanta. Pirates lead the Braves 4-0. That is Doc Ellis against Ron Herbel. Top of the 3rd in Philadelphia. The Expos lead the Phillies 5-1. Bob Bailey's hit his second home run for Montreal. That is Carl Morton against Barry Lersch. Next week, the game of the week is going to be from Philadelphia at the new Veterans Stadium as the Braves take on the Phillies. And the top of the 3rd at Shea Stadium, the Reds lead the Mets 4-0. That is Wayne Garrett against Tom Seaver. And now in the 4th inning for Boston, it will be Rico Petrocelli, George Scott, and Dwayne Josephson. Petrocelli walked his last time up. That was in the 1st inning. The 0-2 pitch. Drills it up the middle. Base hit. Eddie Leon got a bad break on that one. Here's George Scott, who's 0 for 1. He struck out the 1st. Swing and a miss, strike 1. We're in the top of the 4th. Cleveland leads 2-0. Ball 1. It's a grounder to short. Brown. Throw to Leon. Throw to first. Not in time. Petrocelli slid in hard to Leon and prevented the out at first. So there's one out. Here's Dwayne Josephson, who's 0 for 1. He flied to center field last time up. Grounder down the third base line. It's foul. Low, ball one. Swing and a miss. That was out of the strike zone. Strike two. Too high, ball two. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Way outside, ball 3. Full count. It's a liner into center field. That makes it to the wall. This will be extra bases. Got rounds third. He's heading for home. The throw to the plate. He's safe. Pitch threw it in. The relay from Leon was too late. And Josephson is in with a double. That makes the score 2-1. Here is Billy Canigliaro, who's 0 for 1. He popped the third last time up. Caught the inside part of the plate. Strike. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. There goes Josephson. Strike out at the plate. And Fosse throws him out at third. Double play, but Boston gets 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, no one's left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It is Cleveland 2, Boston 1. The 4th for Cleveland, it will be Ken Harrelson, Chuck Hinton, and Eddie Leon. The Hawk is 0 for 1 today. He grounded into a force out in the 1st. It's a high fly ball in center field. Canigliaro's there. He's got it. 1 out. Here is Chuck Hinton, who's 0 for 1. He had a shallow fly down the left field line that Yaz caught in the 2nd. Ball 4. Here is Eddie Leon, who's 0 for 1. He flied to deep center field last time. That was the 2nd walk of the game given up by Peters. Leon lays down a bunt. Josephson's up with it. His only play was the 1st. And Hinton gets sacrificed to 2nd. Runner on 2nd. 2 outs. Here's Buddy Bradford, who's 0 for 1. He struck out in the 2nd. Hinton's probably the slowest player on the Indians, but he was able to make it to 2nd on that sacrifice. Curveball. Josephson had to jump for that one. Ball 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Another swing and a miss. Strike 2. It's a grounder to 3rd. Petrocelli's up with it. Throw to 1st. 3 outs. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We played 4, and it's Cleveland 2, Boston 1. Cleveland has 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. They've left 3 men on base. Boston has 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error. They've left 3 men on base. Indians scored in the 1st one. Pinson had an infield single. He stole 2nd and scored on Fosse's single. Then in the 3rd, Foster was safe on an error. Brown singled. Foster went to 2nd. There was a wild pitch. And then Nettles hit a fly ball to center. And Foster scored on the sacrifice. In the 4th, Petrocelli singled. George Scott advanced him on a ground out, and then Dwayne Josephson double. Scoring Petrocelli, and that's where we're at right now. It's 2-1 in the fifth inning. For the fifth, it will be Doug Griffin, Gary Peters, and Louis Aparicio. Griffin is 1 for 1 today. He singled in the second. Pops it up, second base. Leone is there, and he's got it. 1 out. Here is Gary Peters. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to the shortstop last time. Up. The 1-2 pitch. Lines it down the right field line. That is foul. Peters hits a base hit into center field. Brown couldn't make the play, and Bradford doubled it. And he missed the cutoff man. So Peters takes second. Yeah, I believe that'll be an error on Bradford. Error on Bradford, yeah. Here is Louis Aparicio, who's 1 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the first. It's singled in the third. They have 1 out and runner on second. Fosse goes up to talk to Alan Foster. Ball 1. Strike 1 called. Fouls it back. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's wide of the plate. Ball 2. Ball 3. Balls it back. Full count. It's a liner to third. Nettles has it. Nice leaping catch by Nettles to throw back to second. And they got Peters. What a play by Nettles. Leaping catch. And they doubled up Peters. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error. No one left. We go to the bottom of the fifth. It's an official game here in Cleveland. Indians 1, Red Sox 2. The game recap is calling that an incredible catch. Aparicio hit a line drive to third. Nettles goes up and makes an unbelievable catch. And they got Peters. For the Indians in the fifth, it will be Alan Foster, Larry Brown, and Greg Nettles. Foster is 0 for 1 today. He reached first on an error and then scored a run in the third. Miskey Park, the defending champion Minnesota Twins and the Chicago White Sox, no score in the second inning. The 0-1 pitch. It's a weak grounder to second. Griffin up with it. He's got it. 1 out. Here's Larry Brown, who's 1 for 2. He flied to center, and he singled to center. It's a grounder to second. Griffin has it. Throw to first. 2 outs. Here is Greg Nettles. He walked in the first, and he had a sacrifice fly in the third. That scored Alan Foster. So he has no official at-bat yet. The 1-0 pitch. It's fly ball in the right field. Smith going back. to the wall. It's gone. Home run number 3 for Greg Nuttles. 331-foot blast. He has 3 home runs in the Indians' first 4 games. Last season, if you remember, he got off to a very slow start with the bat. This year, it looks like he's getting off to a really hot start as a hitter. Here is Veda Pinson, who's 1 for 2. He had an infield single, and he had a fly out to shallow center field. Well, it's the 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Strikeout number 2 for Peters. But Cleveland gets 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, no one left. After 5, it is Cleveland 3, Boston 1. In the 6th inning, Alan Foster will face Reggie Smith, Carl Yastrzemski, and Rico Petrocelli. Reggie Smith is 0 for 2. He popped the second in the first and struck out in the third. It's base hit into center field. That's all the way to the wall. This would be extra bases. Smith's in second with a stand-up double. Here is Carl Yastrzemski, who's 0 for 2. He grounded to short in the first, advancing at Mauricio, and he grounded into a double play in the third. Too high, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 1. It's a grounder to second. Leone up with it. Throw to first. For the out. That advanced Reggie Smith to third. Yes, he's had 2 infield groundouts today, but both of them had advanced a runner. Here is Rico Petrocelli, who is 1 for 1. He walked and he singled. Runner on third, 1 out. Too low, ball 1. Strike 1. High and inside, ball 2. Out the corner, strike 2. High and outside, ball 3, full count. Got him in the ribs. Ooh, he tried to get out of there. That's the second hitter that Foster's hit today. But everybody's calm on the field. It doesn't look like Foster's throwing at the hitters. Here is George Scott, who is 0 for 2. He struck out and he grounded into a force out in the 4th. First and second, 1 out. Inside, ball 1. Foul tip, strike 1. Loose it to third. Nettles right there. He's got it. Two outs. No chance for doubling up anybody on that one. They had plenty. Both of the runners had plenty of time to get back. Here is Dwayne Josephson, who is 1 for 2. Fly to center, and he doubled in the 4th. That scored George Scott with Boston's first run of the game. It's fly ball to center. Bradford back near the warning track, and he's got it. 3 outs, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. Foster worked his way out of a jam that inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is Cleveland 3, Boston 1. Here's a little something I want to point out. I haven't been able to get my cursor to freeze. little cigarette packs on the scoreboard here, the auxiliary scoreboard from before the Logias were put in at the stadium. By the time I started attending games in 1972, these packs were gone. I don't know if the Indians lost that sponsorship. They had a big ad on the top of the scoreboard in center field. I think it was Chesterfield when I was a little kid. Then after Art Modell took over the stadium, it became a big Marlboro ad. For the Indians in the bottom of the sixth, it will be Ray Fosse, Ken Harrelson, and Chuck Hinton. Fosse is 1 for 2 today. He singled in the first, driving in Vada Pinson, and he flied to center in the third. The 0-2 pitch. Fly ball in center field. Canigliero's coming in, but he takes it on the short hop. Base hit for Fosse. That's hit number 2. Here's Ken Harrelson, who's 0 for 2. He grounded into a force play in the first and flied to center in the fourth. 1 run first. Nobody out. Too low. Ball 1. Ball down low. Ball 2. Ball 3. 3 balls. No strikes. Strike 1 called on the curve. The Hawk was taken all the way there. Low. Ball 4. That's walk number 3 for Gary Peters. There's Chuck Hinton, who is 0 for 1 today. Flied out in the second, and he walked in the fourth. Fly ball down the left field line. Yastrzemski going back to the wall, and it's gone. Home run for Chuck Hinton. His first home run of the season. That's his first hit of the season. 3-run homer for Chuck Hinton. That went 355 feet. That'll make it 6-3 Cleveland. Here is Eddie Leon. He is 0 for 1 today. He flied out in the second, and he hit a sacrifice bunt in the third. The 0-2 pitch. Just below the belt. Strike 3 call. He got crossed up on that curveball. He looked like he was looking for the fastball. Here's Buddy Bradford, who's 0 for 2. He struck out in the second and grounded out in the fifth. 2-1 pitch. This fly ball to left field. Yaz near the line. He's got it. 1 out. 2 outs, rather. Here comes Eddie Casco, and it looks like that's going to be all for Gary Peters. Coming in a pitch is Kent Brett. So far this season, this is his second appearance of the season. Brett has 2 innings pitched. He's given up 2 hits. One of those hits was a home run. He's walked 3. He struck out 2. He has a record of 0-1 and an ERA of 9.0. His last appearance was here in Cleveland at the home opener. I think he gave up the 9th inning home run that Ken Harrelson hit. Kent Brett from El Segundo, California. 2 outs. Here is Alan Foster, who is 0 for 2. He was safe on an error in the third and grounded out in the fifth. Strike three call. Josephson trapped the ball. He had to throw him out at first. But Cleveland gets 3 runs on a 3-run homer by Chuck Hinton. 2 hits, no errors, no one left. We have played 6 in Cleveland. It is Cleveland 6, Boston 1. In the 7th inning, Foster will face Billy Canigliaro, Doug Griffin, and the pitcher spot, Ken Brett. Billy C is 0 for 2 today. Popped out in the 2nd. And he struck out in the 4th, and that turned into a double play when Josephson was caught stealing. And we're calling timeout. We have an ill umpire. Both of the trainers are out. They're calling for a doctor. They're saying it's 51 minutes. We're ready to go. I don't know if it would actually last that long, but they are pulling Alan Foster. They figure he's approaching 100 pitches early in the season, a chilly day. His arm might have tightened up. They are bringing in Camilo Pascual. He's going to get time to warm up, so that'll add to the managers are conferring with the umpire. And Pascual will come in. He's making his 2nd appearance of the year. He got a little roughed up in his debut with the Indians. That was on the home opener against Boston. He came in the 9th. He pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits, 3 runs, all of them were earned. He walked 2 and he struck out 1. So he has an ERA of 40.50. Gave up 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning. And here we go in the 7th inning. 1-1 pitch to Canigliaro. He hits a base hit into center field. Another one that Eddie Leon didn't get a good jump at. Here is Doug Griffin, who's 1 for 2. He singled in the 2nd and popped out in the 5th. Runner on first, throwing out. High, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, just inside, ball 2. Just low, ball 3. 3-0 pitch. High and outside, ball 4. They're calling a bullpen, and Ray Lamb will get up the warm up. This, if you could see where I am indicating, this was the Indians' bullpen at Cleveland Stadium. They were in the first base dugout, unlike at Jacobs Field where they're in the third base dugout, or Progressive Field. Ken Brett He is 0 for 1 at hitting this year. And they're going to call him back. Yeah, Mike Fiore is going to pinch hit. Mike Fiore. This is his third pinch hitting appearance against Cleveland. And his previous two, he has walked in both of those. He scored a run yesterday. This is his third plate appearance, but he hasn't had an official at bat yet. Ball one. It's a grounder to short. Brown tosses to Leone. The first. Double play. 6-4-3 double play. Runner on third, 2 outs. And here is Louis Aparicio, who's 1 for 2. He was hit by a pitch, singled into third, and he hit a liner to third that Nettles made a fantastic leaping catch, and that he was able to double up Gary Peters off second base. In at the knees, strike one. Outside, ball one. Hits a deep fly ball into right field. Pinson near the warning track, and he's got it. 3 outs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is Cleveland 6, Boston 1. Let's take a look around the league again. Top of the 8th in Washington. Senators lead the Yankees now 7-5. Frank Howard hit his first home run. Darrell Knowles pitching for Washington. Top of the 8th in Baltimore. The Orioles 4, the Tigers 1. Don Buford 4 for 4 today. Right now it's Jim Hanna against Pat Dobson. Top of the 4th in St. Louis. Cardinals lead the undefeated Giants 7-0. Julian Javier had his first home run today for the Cardinals. That is Bob Gibson against John Cumberland. Bottom of the 7th in Atlanta, it's Pittsburgh 5, Atlanta 1. Richie Hebner's 3 for 3 today. That's Doc Ellis against Steve Barber. Top of the 6th in Philadelphia, the Expos lead the Phillies 7-6. Ron Hunt, his first home run of the year for Montreal. That is Howie Reed against Billy Champion. Top of the 6th in New York, Cincinnati leads the undefeated Mets 6-3. That is Jim Merritt against, I think that's Stan Williams for New York. Stan Williams, formerly of the Indians. Top of the 5th at Comiskey Park, it is the White Sox 1, the Twins 1. That's Jim Cott against Bart Johnson. Bottom of the 5th at the Astrodome, Astros 1, Cubs nothing. That is Bill Hands against Don Wilson. And bottom of the 5th in Milwaukee, that is the Brewers 2, the Angels nothing. Smith hit his third home run for Milwaukee. That is Tom Murphy against Marty Patton. Smith, I believe, is a rookie. And his first name is just at the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of it. I apologize for that. Probably I'll have a better handle on some of the players I don't know, and they come up against the Indians or the Dodgers. For the Indians in the seventh, it will be Larry Brown, Greg Nettles, and Vada Pinson. Brown is 1 for 3 today. He's flied out the center, singled, and grounded to second. The new pitcher for Boston is Bobby Bolin. He's made 2 appearances this year. He's pitched an inning and 2/3. He's given up 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned. 3 of the hits he gave up, or 2 of the 3 hits he gave up were doubles. He has no record, an ERA of 1, or an ERA of 5.40. He's appeared in both of the games against the Indians this weekend. The 1-2 pitch to Brown. Strike 3 called. And Brown's retired. 1 out. Here is Greg Nettles, who's 1 for 1. He walked. Hit a sacrifice fly in the 3rd. And he hit a solo home run in the 5th. Foul ball. Ooh, that was right off of Josephson's mask. They're going to give him a minute to let the bell stop ringing. And let his fillings calm down. The 0-1 pitch. This fly ball in the right field. Reggie Smith is there, and he's got it. 2 outs. And here's Vada Pinson, who's 1 for 3. He had an infield single in the 1st, flied out in the 3rd, and struck out in the 5th. The 0-2 pitch. It's base hit in the right field. Smith up with it. Pinson's looking at second. He's going for second. The throw, the slide. He's safe. Pinson's 4th hit of the year and his 2nd double. Pinson was hoping for a trade to the West Coast. He's originally from the Bay Area. And said that his family was not happy moving to Cleveland and living in Cleveland last year. But he had an excellent year with Cleveland, coming over from Cincinnati. And he has been a good American League player. Or he came over from St. Louis, I'm sorry. He was with Cincinnati from 58 to 68, then spent 69 in St. Louis in 1970 in Cleveland. He got off to a slow start last year, but he ended up hitting 269, 25 home runs, and 109 runs batted in. Here's Ray Fosse, who's 2 for 3. Single in the 1st, driving in a run. Flied out in the 3rd and singled in the 6th. Fly ball in center field. Canigliaro coming in. He's got it. 3 outs, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We played 7 at Cleveland Stadium. It is Cleveland 6, Boston 1. In the 8th inning for the Red Sox, it will be Reggie Smith, Carl Yastrzemski, and Rico Petrocelli. Smith is 1 for 3. He popped out, struck out, and he doubled in the 6th. Full count, 2 low, ball 4. Here is Carl Yastrzemski, who's over 3 today. Grounded out in the 1st, but advanced a base runner. Grounded into a double play in the 3rd, and grounded out in the 6th, but advanced the base runner. But then Alan Foster was able to squash that rally. Fastball, fouls it back. Strike. Below the knees, ball one. Too low, ball two. Just high, ball three. 3 balls and 1 strike. Yes, it's a fly ball in the right field. Pinson's there. He's got it. 1 out. Here is Rico Petrocelli. He's 1 for 1. He walked. He singled and was hit by a pitch. Oh, they're calling him back. Phil Gagliano is going to pitch hit. Gagliano's pinch hit in each of the 4 Boston games this year. He is 1 for 3 with a run batted in. Smith's on first. 1 out. Fouls it back. Strike 1. Throw to first. Smith beats the tag. Another throw to first. Safe. The 0-1 pitch. It's base hit in center field. That'll be extra bases. Smith takes third, and Gagliano slides in with a double. That puts runners on second and third. 1 out. Ray Lamb is getting up to warm up again. Here is George Scott, who's 0 for 3, and they are going to give him an intentional walk. Going to load the bases. 1 out. Here's Dwayne Josephson, who is 1 for 3. Flied out in the second. Doubled in the fourth, driving in the Red Sox only run of the game so far, and he flied out in the sixth. He's 0 for 1 with the bases loaded. It's a shallow fly ball, left field. Hitton's after it, but it makes the seats. Strike 1. High and outside, ball 1. Too high, ball 2. Nice grab by Fosse. It's a fly ball to center. Bradford's there. He's got it. Smith tags. And that'll make it 6-2. Here comes Elvin Dark, and that'll be all for Pasquale. Coming in a pitch is Ray Lamb, who came over from the Dodgers, along with Alan Foster. He's making his second appearance of the year. He pitched 3 innings in the home opener, gave up 2 hits, and 1 earned run. He walked 4, so he was getting guys out, but he was having a little bit of trouble with his control. Billy Canigliaro, he's 1 for 3. Popped out. Struck out, and then Joseph was caught stealing in the 4th and singled in the 7th. Ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Low, that got past Fosse. Oh, they're calling that a pass ball. But both runners move in a scoring position. 2-1 pitch. Strike 2 called. Shallow fly down the left field line, but that makes the seats. 3 called. But Boston gets 1 run. They had 1 hit, no errors. They leave 2 on. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is Cleveland 6, Boston 2. Cleveland in the 8th, it will be Harrelson, Hinton, and Leone. Here is Ken Harrelson. He's 0 for 2. Grounded into a force play. Flied out in the 4th and walked in the 6th. 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. It's his second walk of the game. Here is Chuck Hinton, who is 1 for 2. Had a shallow fly out in the 2nd, walked in the 4th, and hit a 3-run homer in the 6th. That put Cleveland up 6-1. Josephson to the mound. Strike 1 call. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Ball 1 inside. Outside. Ball 2. Liner down the third base line. That is foul.
Strike 3.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 1 out. Here is Eddie Leone, who is 0 for 2. Glide out, hit a sacrifice bunt, and struck out. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. It's base hit in the right field. Harrelson holds at second. We have runners on first and second. 1 out. Here is Buddy Bradford, who's 0 for 3. They're calling a bag. Ted Uhlaender is going to pinch hit. Uhlaender is 0 for 1 on the season. The liner down the first base line, but that's fine. Too high. Ball 1. Ball 2. Fly ball, right field, but it's foul. Blowing inside. Ball 3. Full count. Fly ball to right field. Ricky Smith on a warning track. Got it. And Harrelson will hold. Pinch hitting for Ray Lamb will be Gomer Hodge. Hodge finally made it to the majors this year. He's been in the minor leagues for 8 years. He is 0 for 1 on the season. He appeared as a pinch hitter in the opener against Detroit. Warming up in the bullpen is Steve Mingori. Too high. Ball 1. Base hit into center field. Harrelson rounds third. He'll score. It's 7-2. Here is Larry Brown. He is 1 for 4 today. Flied out, single, grounded out, and struck out. Inside, ball one. Strike one. That was out of the strike zone. Looked at strike two. The 1-2 pitch. Fouls it back. Fouls it back. The 1-2 pitch. Too high, ball two. It's a slow roller to short. Aparicio dives to his left. He's got it. He'll step on second himself. But Cleveland gets 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. They left 2 on base. After 8, it is Cleveland 7, Boston 2. For the Indians, Eddie Leon moves to short. Hodge remains in the game at second. Uhlander is the new center fielder. And Steve McGorry coming in to pitch. Steve McGorry, he pitched 4 shutouts last year for Savannah in the Southern League. Then got a very short cup of coffee with Wichita, the Indians' AAA affiliate, and he was called up to the Indians in August. He pitched in 14 games last year, 14 and a third innings. He had a record of 0-1. He had an ERA of 3.77 and a whip of 1.047. 14 and a third innings. He struck out 8 and he walked 8. His first couple games, he got roughed up pitching against the Orioles. It was like sheer nerves. Once he settled down, he did pretty well in his very short time with the Indians last season. So they are looking to him to be a good up-and-coming pitcher for them. He pitched a third of an inning in the home opener against Boston. Faced one batter, got him out, and he got the save. He kind of bailed out Camilo Pascual. In the 9th, it will be Doug Griffin, the pitcher's spot, and Luis Aparicio. Griffin is 1 for 2. He singled in the 1st, popped out in the 5th, and walked in the 7th. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Hits a grounder to short. Leon up with it to throw to first. 1 out. Gorey's got a good fastball. He's a hard thrower. Bobby Boland's turn up. We will see who's... It's Joe LaHood pinch hitting. LaHood is 0 for 2 on the season. He's had an at-bat or appearance in each of the Red Sox games so far. The Indians' home opener, he didn't have an at-bat, but he scored a run. He's looking for his first hit. 3-2 pitch, ball 4. Here's Louis Aparicio, 1 for 3. He was hit by a pitch, singled in the 3rd. Lined into a double play in the 5th and flied out in the 7th. Changeup, strike 1. At the shoulders and high, ball 1. Just off the ground, ball 2. He tipped it. Strike 2. Fouls it back. Count remains 2-2. Ball 3. Fastball, base hit into left field. Hinton's up with it. LaHood rounds second. He'll take 3rd. Runners at the corners. 1 out. Here's Reggie Smith, who's 1 for 3. Popped out, struck out, doubled, and walked. The inside corner at the knee. Strike 1. Too low, ball 1. High and tight, ball 2. Liner into center field, base hit. LaHood scores. Aparicio stops at second. It's 7-3. More bullpen action for Cleveland. It'll be Chuck Marshmallow warming up. Here is Carl Yastrzemski. Yes, is 0 for 4. 3 groundouts and a flyout. Bossy goes up to talk to Mingori. Might be the nerves again. Low, way outside. Fossey can't handle it. That's a second pass ball today called on Fossey. High and away, ball 2. Strike 1 called. Fly ball down the left field line. Hinton's after it, but it goes foul. Outside, ball 3. Just off the ground and inside, ball 4. Walk number 2 for Mingori. Comes Elvin Dark. And they are signaling to the bullpen. Chuck Marshmallow coming in. He has 1 inning pitched this season. Gave up 2 hits and he has walked 1. He is a rookie. Just like Gomer Hodge, he is making his first big league appearance this season. He appeared in the opener in Detroit. Bases loaded, 1 out. Cleveland is up by 4. Gagliano's up. He replaced Petrosilian. 3rd after pinch hitting for him. He doubled in the 8th. He represents the tying run now. Ball 1, 1-1. Low and inside, ball 2. Too high, ball 3, but he's bullpen, guys. Ball 4. Walks in a run, it's 7-4 now. Oh, these bullpen guys just kill me. George Scott, 0 for 3. Struck out, grounded into a force out, lined to 3rd and was intentionally walked. The hard grounder down the 3rd base line, that's foul. Scott represents the go-ahead run now. Swing and a miss, strike 2. High, ball 1. Strike 3 called. Oh, what a clutch pitch on a curveball. Red Sox are down to their final out. Here's Dwayne Josephson, who is 1 for 3. Flied out. Doubled in the fourth. Driving in Scott. Flied out in the sixth and hit a sacrifice fly in the eighth. So he has 2 RBIs today. Swing and a miss, strike one. Too high, ball one. 1-1 pitch. Outside, ball two. Cross the knees, strike two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Too high, ball three. Full count, 2 outs. Ball four again. He walks in his second run of the inning. That makes it 7-5. Vince Colbert getting up the warm up. Here's Billy Canigliaro, who's 1 for 4. He popped out, struck out, singled and struck out in the eighth. Curveball, too high, ball one. High, ball two. High and tight, ball three. Inside on the black, strike one. Hits a liner in the right field to Pinson, and he's got it. And that ends the game. The Red Sox get 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors. They left the bases loaded, but the final score is Cleveland 7, Boston 5. Cleveland had 7 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. Boston had 5 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. Alan Foster gets the win. He's 1-0. He pitched pretty well until his arm tightened up. Pasquale and Lamb each get a hold. Pasquale didn't. He walked 3. McGorry in the third of an inning walked 2. Give up 2 hits. Marshmallow in 2/3 of an inning walked 2. He got the save. Saying that Alan Foster's arm is hurting him right now, and he is day to day, which means he might miss his next start. Probably be scheduled next to pitch against Baltimore. Boston left 11 men on. Cleveland left 6. Star of the game is Chuck Hinton, who hit a 3-run homer. Nettles hit a solo home run. Vada Pinson was 2 for 4 with a double. For the Red Sox, Reggie Smith was 2 for 4. Louis Aparicio was 2 for 4. Oh, right now the Indians are hitting. Last year their bullpen was a mess, and it looks like their bullpen's off to a slow start this year. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's the weather. They walked in 2 runs in the 9th. Marshmallow, he got a clutch strikeout, though, against George Scott. And it looks like he's just missing. Boston sent 8 batters at a plate. And if it wasn't for that 3-run homer, Boston would have, they may have been ahead in the 9th. Alan Foster pitched 6 innings. Gave up 6 hits, 1 run. He walked 1, struck out 3. Gary Peters pitched 5 2/3. He gave up 6 hits, 6 runs. 5 of those were earned. He gave up 2 home runs. He walked 2. He struck out 3. Time of the game, 3 hours and 15 minutes. Final score, Cleveland 7, Boston 5. Cleveland is 3-1 now. They swept the Red Sox in this weekend series. Hope you enjoyed this game, and thank you for watching.